everyone. Did you just watch our latest episode on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and now you joined us on Patreon?
Yeah, if you're listening to this, it probably means you're listening to this on Patreon. Thank you guys. Thank you for doing that.
We're cheaper than gas, $5 a month. We have a new exclusive for you folks. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining us.
Yeah, so this week, the week we're recording, which is first of all, okay, it's May 2nd, 2026. I am wearing a Spider-Man t-shirt. You'll notice
Ooh.
Tom can see this shirt. You'll notice this is the PlayStation. This is the Insomniac design, but it's,
PS4.
it's a shirt I love nonetheless.
He's a good
It's free.
Spider-Man. He's a good Spider-Man adaptation variant. A really good one.
Yeah. Yeah, not a bad costume. It's also free comic book day today, and I got some loot
Oh, I got
from
some loot too.
my local comic shop. Um,
I got some recent loot as well that came in the mail.
it's fitting we talk about this because earlier this week, it
April
was announced.
27th.
Yeah, it was announced the passing of Mr. Gerry Conway at the age of 73, which in my book is too young. It's
Especially
too young.
nowadays. Nowadays.
Yeah, and he died. Sadly, he passed away due to after a 4-year battle with pancreatic cancer, which was, to his credit, was a longer battle than my grandma Baker had when she dealt with that. That is
It's a
not.
longer battle than most, dude. That's a tough one. That's a tough
Yeah,
cancer.
yeah.
That shit eats you up alive.
It's one of the cancers you don't mess with. And it's sad that that happened to him. Who is Jerry Conway? If you don't know comics at
Well,
all,
if you don't know him, one, he is a creator of a few characters. We'll get to the big one at the end.
yes,
But if people
that's the
don't
one we
know
want to talk
this,
about.
oh, of course, well, the one we want to talk about is the reason for this episode, folks. But to start off, he is one of the co-creators of Firestorm from DC Comics,
Hmm.
Power Girl, one with the huge
The cleavage.
Jason Todd, the second Robin, he had a fun date with a crowbar, as everyone knows. And then a really well-known villain. I like this villain actually, Killer Croc. He
Yeah,
also he also wrote Justice League of America for 8 years.
yeah, and he wrote the first ever Marvel DC superhero crossover, which is
Hmm.
called Superman versus the
Versus,
Amazing
yep.
Spider-Man, back in '76. For Marvel, he created the Jackal, aka Dr. Miles Warren, who was responsible for creating clones of Spider-Man, which someone Marvel eventually took and ran with 2 decades later, for better or worse, with the Clone Saga. He created the first Miss Marvel.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
Yeah, the Carol Danvers, who now is known as Captain Marvel, but he created that character. Um,
Played by Brie Larson for anyone who just watches the movies.
yeah, yeah,
And by the
um,
way, he all started this work, guys, at 16. He started working.
yeah, because they just let anybody write comics back in the
I know, it's
70s.
insane. At
It was such a
16,
cottage industry then.
he was part of DC's House of Secrets, number 81, at 16.
Yeah, he wrote some like short stories for DC, and then he started getting like bigger work until when he was 19 years old, he
19.
he was hired to effectively succeed Stan Lee as the main writer for Amazing Spider-Man, of which this is 73.
Yeah, hey,
1973.
he's the
Yeah.
reason why we have the death of Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he made his mark. That was like right in the beginning of that run too. He made his mark like right off the bat because
Yeah.
he was like he was like, "Hey, Death of Gwen Stacy was such a big deal in
Oh
comics
my
when
God,
that
yes,
happened.
it is. It's a big.
Effectively, the end of innocence in comics, many people would say. Um, Conway, again, 19 years old.
It was
Um,
comic book Sharon Tate. Oh,
yes, yeah, it was kind of like the Manson murder equivalent of comic books. Yeah, a lot of people today probably don't appreciate this, but back then, Mary Jane was not the primary love interest for Peter Parker. She
no,
was around, but she
Peter was
wasn't the
in
main
the
love.
blondes
No,
first.
yeah, now, in my opinion, I think Mary Jane, even back then, was a better written character. When I read her first appearance, that Stan Lee wrote in
Oh
Amazing
yeah,
Spider-Man, I was
I
like,
agree.
wow, Stan Lee can write a woman actually. But I thought she was a better written character, but Peter and Gwen Stacy were the thing. And by this point, they were in a very stable relationship, except for the part that he didn't tell her his secret. But they were college
Oh,
sweethearts. They were solid college sweethearts.
oh,
Young brat Gerry Conway at 19 was like, there's no other place for this relationship to go except for them to get married, which he felt went against the nature of Spider-Man being like a character who is struggling,
yeah.
can't
I
find
like that. That's
happiness,
so
dealing with
cool.
guilt.
That's
I,
so cool that that was his
I'm
thought process. I love that.
I'm curious if he and Joe Quesada ever had a conversation many years later, particularly in 2007 when Marvel decided to ruin mainstream Spider-Man comics forever. Um, Fuck One More Day, one of the worst editorial decisions ever. But at least when Conway did it, he didn't do something stupid where Peter made a deal with Satan to end their relationship. No, he's just like, she's gotta, no. Gwen Stacy's gotta die. She's gotta die a tragic death. And apparently, like, Stan Lee was the editor, it became the editor in chief of Marvel Comics at this point. And apparently, how they got this through was like Stan Lee was doing a business trip because I think he was trying to sell comics overseas.
Okay.
This is a big reason why they rebooted X-Men with like Colossus and Nightcrawler and all these characters
Okay.
around the world. It was probably part of that effort, I imagine, from what I read. So Stan Lee is like packing up, is like, I gotta go to Europe, I gotta go on this business trip, and then Gerry Conway's like, hey, Stan, it's all right if I kill Peter's love interest. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Can't you see I'm busy? Get the fuck out. And then Stanley comes back, they write the story. It's already in the pipeline, it's set to be published, and Stan Lee was pissed. I think even by his own admission, he was very upset. He was like, "Why would you do this?"
You know what's funny? That happening sounds exactly the way Mel Brooks put up sold Young Frankenstein to the executives because he basically said, "I want to do Frankenstein. I want to make fun. I want to have this. We're gonna have the sets. We're gonna have Gene Wilder, all this stuff." And like, all right, that's cool. Okay, yeah, you want to do this? I'm like, a parody on the monster classics. We like that. Okay, Mel, you got the green light. Go make your movie. Thanks, guys. Great. And he's walking out the door, and as the door to the boardroom meeting closes, he sticks his face out just a bit and says, "Hey, it's going to be in black and white." And he ran. Apparently, he ran. He ran down the hallway. He ran out the building. He ran out of his car, got in, turned it, and floored it off the lot. Because when he
Just
said,
so no one could tell him you can't do that.
well, because if people don't realize, when that movie came out, which, hold on, let me just to show you the timeline of movies. What was it? Young Frankenstein was the 70s, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, so in the 74, so when he was pitching it in like 72, the Hollywood was trying to get rid of black and white. No more black and white, all color, right? And then he
yeah.
said, "We're gonna make it in black and white." The executives went, "Wait, what?" He ran. They chased after him.
No backsies.
That's what he said. That's no joke. You laugh, but he said like, "You already quit, man. Fuck you." And he got in his car and ran off.
I got your signature right here, bitch.
The only reason why one of the top five greatest comedies of Hollywood has been black and white is because Mel Brooks was like this. It's going to be a black and white bye. He literally was like, "Fuck you, bye." And the executives legally couldn't do anything because they signed up.
That's great. That's amazing.
And that's
You
what
didn't
this
read the
sounds
fine print. Yeah. Conway pulled a big one there, and
at
it wasn't.
19. At
He
19.
was 19.
And
He
he's
couldn't even
basically
drink yet. Like this little punk. Like, and this is huge. Like back then, you never killed off the love interest of your hero character,
oh,
or if you did, it was like maybe if you did it, it was like a fake out.
yeah,
And then you
yeah.
by the end of the issue, oh, I'm alive. It's okay. Never mind. No. This was like
She
she is
straight
dead,
up
and she is gonna stay dead
She got her neck snapped. Her
forever.
skull got crushed. Dude, imagine if DC back then killed Lois Lane. Like,
Yes, it was
Jesus.
like that. And a lot of people say this is said to be, this ended the Silver Age of comics and began the Bronze Age. This is like
Oh
all
yeah, this
bets
is
are
the Bronze
off.
Age.
Characters can die forever. Now, if you want to, even though that never happens in comics, but if you want to, characters can die forever.
Yeah, this
And
is literally the death of the Silver Age.
I think like Marvel even received death threats. Like that's how big a deal this was when they
Yes,
did that.
people don't.
And
Most people don't realize Gwen Stacy was huge before Mary J.
and the odd thing is that like it eventually turned into a trope where you kill off the love interest to spur motivation, and there's a lot of problematic stuff there. Oddly enough, the trope name did come from comics, but it didn't come from a comic. It came from a comic that came out in the 90s. It's called the Women in Refrigerators trope, which came from
Yep,
Green
yep.
Lantern. Kyle Rayner's girlfriend, some one of his villains, broke into her apartment, murdered her, and stuffed her in a fridge. That became the trope name, women in refrigerators, not, you know, women falling off bridges. Or well, I think they called it Gwen Stacy syndrome for a while, but for some reason, women stuffed in fridges became the trope name after the incident in Green Lantern. But
That's
whatever.
hilarious.
That's probably what Gerry Conway is best known
No,
for
God. For
ever and
comic book
ever.
arts, yeah. He changed the
Yeah,
game. He changed the game. But then
big fucking deal. Yeah.
he introduced one big character that really changed comics. He is the co-creator of one of the biggest, well, everyone knows this symbol.
hmm
Ladies and gentlemen, this man was behind the Punisher.
Along with artists John Romita Sr. and
Hmm.
Ross Andrew, Gerry Conway created the Punisher in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 129, just a few months after Gwen Stacy died. Uh, Punisher was introduced as a Spider-Man antagonist. This is like he wasn't a hero. He was someone Spider-Man had to fight because he was a guy that went around killing people, bad people, criminals technically, but he was a murderer, and he was kind of created to be a sort of foil for Spider-Man because Spider-Man didn't like killing people.
No, Punisher
Um,
straight up just if you broke the law, you died. You could argue he was the genesis of Rorschach.
he's the genesis of Rorschach, and actually the fact that Gerry Conway later created Jason Todd is kind of poetic there because many years later they thought to bring Jason Todd back as
Red
the
Hood.
Red Hood, who's essentially Batman but the Punisher.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, the Punisher, which like Rorschach, is just Batman with no money and guns.
Yeah.
Rorschach is poor and he'll kill you with his bare hand. Punisher is like, I'm going to kill you, but I have an M80. I have an
The
M16. I have a freaking Glock. I have a revolver. I have a 357. I have an AK-47. I have a chain gun. I have everything in arsenal that,
he is what if Batman was not a billionaire but a Marine, like
yeah,
a special ops Marine instead.
recon. No, recon.
Yeah. Yeah, Force
Okay,
Recon
for
type.
people
Yeah.
who don't know, okay, so the Punisher is a Marine. He is a Marine who, depending on the timeline, he fought in Vietnam or the Gulf War. Basically, this man fought in the jungle with just the tools at hand and was just murking everyone. And when he got home to New York City, trying to live like hey, just trying to live normal life here. I'm not letting the people I killed, across the ocean affect me. The mob killed his wife and two kids because they saw a hit, and then he said, "Okay, everyone dies now. You break the law, you
I
die."
think it's his whole family happened to be like
In Central Park,
a witness to a mob hit, and then their family got massacred, but he survived,
and
and he
depending
just
on who the writer is, he either was there at the home invasion and survived it, or he didn't get there in time. The whole case is he not only just kills the perpetrators, he says, "You break the law, you die."
yeah,
And
and
he just basically walks around with a big black trench coat full of guns. Everyone in his path dies if they break the law. He chooses. He is literally
yeah.
Judge Dredd. He is like a
I
modern
think
day.
the trench coat came later. For a while, he was just wearing like tights
Oh,
with white gloves and boots. Yeah, but he's
and
got with a rifle and a sidearm, and like he's got a belt
for
that's like
people,
lined up with bullets.
here's a little quick
Yeah,
picture
yeah.
for basically, for those who aren't on YouTube, I just showed a picture, but basically, it's the white skull, but half the jaw's missing. It's just long teeth. That's the best way I think I can describe it. It's just a white skull with longer teeth, but no bottom jaw. That is the emblem of the Punisher. And he wears that, by the way, because he only has Kevlar vest on. So he wears a big white skull to psychologically trick people to shoot more at his stomach so the bullets can take this sponge there because he has no helmet, he has no arms, no leg armor or anything. It's just chest armor. So he purposely actually wears that white emblem, this big white skull, to psychologically trick people to shoot at his chest because folks, he can actually take a bullet to the chest. Actually, he's insane. He's a
Yeah,
fucking
it's a it's a fantastic character design. Of which apparently, even though Gerry Conway's not an artist, I think he had this like design in a scrapbook somewhere, and he showed it
yes. It
to
was a design. Yes, yes,
yeah, and he
yes.
like showed it to Ramita and Andrews, and then they basically like perfected it. So like Conway is a co-creator, not just of the character, but of his specific appearance with that massive death's head symbol.
And for people who just watch movies and don't know comics, the first live action Punisher was portrayed by Dolph Lundgren,
Yeah, in the was it like 80s?
87.
87. Okay.
87 or 88, and it was literally right after, like a few years after Rocky 4.
Hmm.
And then the big one that everyone mostly knows, The Punisher in 2004, that was portrayed by, oh God, what was that actor's name? Punisher in '04. You've seen him in movies.
Oh, Thomas Jane.
Yes, thank you.
He was in The Expanse. Great show.
Thomas Jane. There was Punisher Warzone, and then now the current Punisher, John Berthenol, who has been
Yeah.
portraying him in movies, TV shows, and cameos, and all that jazz. But basically, what we're getting at here, and what the point of this episode is, we're not just mourning a well-known author's death. The thing about the Punisher has been around since the '70s. It's
Mhm.
interesting how people don't are misrepresenting him, specifically our law enforcement and our boys in blue.
What spurred this discussion was the other day I was walking my dog, and this is after Conway passed
Walking the
away. So it was
dog,
this
the
week.
dog.
I was walking my dog in the neighborhood, and I passed by a car. The funny thing, this car is like a small Japanese hatchback. Okay, not exactly the toughest vehicle on the road, but it had
No.
a Punisher skull done with like the Blue Lives Matter flag design, which
Yep.
I've always despised that design because the whole Blue Lives Matter thing is just a racist response to shut black people up. That's the whole point of that. But anyway, I digress. I saw that emblem, and so it's like two things where I'm like, I don't respect you, but one thought going in my mind, I was like, this doofus probably doesn't even know that Jerry Conway just died,
No.
and or wouldn't care.
No.
Like,
Because to him, he's just a comic book nerd.
I'm tapping into like I hate gatekeeping fandom, but like I was tapping into my like gatekeeping nerd id where I'm like, take that off. If you can't name the exact number issue
No,
and the
well,
month and the year that Punisher made his first appearance, you are a fake fan. Like I was feeling that in that moment. Like I wanted to get on that kind of horse. And
no, well, because the thing is though, it makes sense that reaction because in the early 2000s, our military and law enforcement were starting to wear that emblem on their uniform in some way, or put it on the decals of their car, or have it on their quote unquote challenge coins. We know that term because of what ICE did in, the Twin Cities. And the thing about it is though, and Conway was actually upfront in public about this,
yes, he
the
has.
Punisher emblem is a representation of the failure of the American system judicially. The Punisher is not a hero. He's an anti-hero. Actually, when he came introduced in the Amazing Spider-Man comics, he was introduced as a villain
Yes,
because
he was a full on villain for that
he
issue.
was
Yeah.
killing people for breaking the law. And by breaking the law, again, like I brought up Rorschach, if anyone has seen Watchmen or read the comic, Rorschach killed people who littered.
Yeah. Hmm.
Think about that. Yes, littering is, hey, dude, pick up your trash. No, if you crossed paths with Rorschach, he killed you. The
Hmm.
Punisher killed you, but he did it with a freaking gun. He saw
Yeah.
you doing any crime and he chose and he said, "Hey, you're breaking the law." He just put one between your eyes. Or no, sorry, he didn't just put one between your eyes. Even though the Punisher is a marksman, like he could just put one bullet in your head, he emptied the clip in you. He just emptied a clip in you and walked away.
Yeah, he's essentially like he's an inherently reactionary character.
Or as Captain
Um,
America said, he's fucking insane. He's just
yes. Yeah, and you know, he's basically like a B movie villain or not villain, like a B movie hero, like a
Commando, like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Commando or
sure, yeah,
Rambo.
or I was gonna say like Charles Bronson in the Death Wish movies. Like
That's
he's
even
he's
better.
he's that kind of character basically taken taken to the full extreme. You know, the only way to solve crime is to just kill everybody.
And it isn't like folks, it isn't like the Punisher was like this, okay, I staked this place out and made a plan. I'm like actually going after people. No, he would just load up on as much guns as he could carry and just casually walk the streets of New York at night, and anyone who crossed his path died. That's it.
Mhm.
It was literally if you were unlucky enough to cross his path, he just shot you, emptied his clip in you, and then kept walking for the next victim. Victim, literally victim. I know they were criminals, but he was literally going after people like they were victims.
Yeah, just hunting them, you know.
Yeah,
And
and here's here to
he
show you. Sorry, not to cut you off, Travis. I apologize, but to show you how serious Conway took it, there's a quote from him. For too long, symbols associated with a character I co-created, I'm reading this off my phone, had been co-opted by forces of oppression and to intimidate Black Americans. This is literally from the creator, folks.
yeah.
This character and symbol was never intended as a symbol of oppression. This symbol is a symbol of a systematic failure of equal justice. It is time to claim this symbol for the cause of equal justice and for Black Lives Matter. That is literally from the dude who created him. So you can't argue it, you can't
Didn't he
disparage.
literally say that in 2020, like during the George Floyd protests?
Yes, he is
Fucking
dumb.
based, man.
Hell, when he found out that law enforcement was doing this, especially specifically Navy SEAL Chris Kyle, who had that emblem tattooed on him and everyone knew him by that emblem, he was pissed. He was literally pissed that this was being
Mhm.
done to a person he created. So he would tell people like, dude, if a cop wears the symbol, you're with the enemy. You're a part of the problem.
I,
And
I
it got so heated that I think in around 2010, and this had nothing, this wasn't a storyline. This was just put into a couple of panels. Conway and Marvel put into a couple of panels where the Punisher passed by a cop who had the symbol on his uniform. The Punisher grabbed that cop, threw him up against the wall, and said, "What the fuck is your problem? You're supposed to be
Mhm.
helping people. That is my symbol. Your symbol is justice, you piece of shit. Take it off now."
That's great. That's fucking great.
Even Conway did a fundraiser to
Yeah.
combat this symbol for Black Lives Matter to raise money. It just and what we're trying to get to at the what I'm trying to get to the point is, folks, of this conversation is before you wear something, before you go and root for something, it's actually good to know the history behind it, like the Punisher. If your son wants to dress up as the Punisher for Halloween, talk to him. No, no, I'm being serious. Talk to him.
Don't make him wear don't have him wear that at school.
No. Oh, those t-shirts. Hell no. Cole sells that. Don't. A little boy should not be wearing that symbol. Kind of like the way a little boy shouldn't be wearing the little smiley face with blood on it from the comedian. No. No, really. This isn't a cool guy. He's a representation that the system failed because he took these guys to court. The mobsters who killed his family were taken to trial, but got off because of money.
Yeah.
So he killed them all. And then he cracked so badly, he kills anyone who breaks the law. Captain America hates this guy, actually. Hell,
Yeah.
do you know how you brought up that you were walking your dog and you saw a cop with this emblem?
I don't know
About,
if it was a cop. It was just a regular car.
oh, sorry, a regular car.
Um,
Sorry, a regular car who had this emblem. About 5 years ago at my job, it was a superhero day, so a lot of people were wearing just superhero t-shirts. And a manager at the time, no, a supervisor at the time, had the Captain America shield, but all in black. He was wearing it. I'm like this. So he passed by. No, no, he passed by, and I was like this. Hey, Hail Hydra. Like as a joke, because in the comics now, Captain America has been a sleeper cell for Hydra for decades. So I was like this. Hail. So I said to him this. Hail Hydra. And he turned around and said, "What the fuck did you just say?" I'm like, Hail Hydra. He's like, what does that mean? Your shirt you're wearing. What?
You
You're
look
wearing
evil.
I'm like this. No, no, dude, you're wearing the Captain America shield, but the shield is when he became a Hydra agent when he showed the world he was actually working for Hydra the whole time. You're wearing Captain America as Hydra. So I was like, hey, hail Hydra. And his response was, dude, I don't read that faggot shit. And he walked away. So I'm like, dude, you don't even know what you're doing. Like,
Yeah.
no, but
Wow.
seriously. And I know the movies with Dolph Lundgren and Thomas Jane and then John Berthenau are like, yeah, it's cool because he's just beating the shit out of guys and everything. I'm like, I understand that, guys, but in the comics, he killed cops. He killed cops in the comics. Like Punisher killed everyone. He was killed. Do you know what his death count is, by the way, Travis?
Yeah, what was his death count according
So
to your
this is, by the way,
research?
this is a 6-year-old death count, so it's probably more. But 6 years ago, someone did the death count total of the Punisher. He has killed 48,502 people. Does that sound like a hero to you?
That is more than half the population of my hometown.
Travis, that's almost as many troops as we sent to Iran.
That's a
Think about that. One
it's like
man.
a
And
it's
and
like
by
a
the way,
10% drop in New York City's population.
this isn't like oh well he's a war veteran. It's like no 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 no. His numbers weren't that big when he came back from Vietnam or the Gulf War.
No.
His
Nobody's
number
numbers could be
no
that big coming
no
home
no.
from.
His numbers skyrocketed once he got back to New York. His numbers skyrocketed once he put on the emblem. He probably killed maybe 50 people in Nam.
Yeah,
Like
like
really,
what
really, really. He probably killed like maybe
he
50,
killed
60 people.
he killed 50 men.
He killed 50 men while in the jungle. But when he came home, that's when he started racking up bodies. In the Civil War comic line, he's like killing everyone to the point where Captain America beats him unconscious and says, "Get him the hell out of here."
Yeah, the well, I think about when I think about like seeing
Misrepresentation, basically.
police and military appropriate that image, I think of the famous Mitchell and Webb sketch
Yes.
where 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 if you haven't seen it, the joke is it's two SS agents in a battlefield. They're like in the trenches.
Yep.
One of them walks to the other, is like, "Hey, I got a question. I don't why are we wearing skulls on our caps?" Like like he realizes like this he says the famous quote, "Are we the baddies?"
Yeah,
Because it's like this kind of makes us look like we're bad guys.
it does.
And just the video and the sketch ends with like him being essentially vindicated because the other guy couldn't come up with a good excuse. Like, well, maybe it just represents the skulls of our enemies. And he's like, is that really how it comes across? Yeah, and they had like Totenkopf symbols, which has been in the news recently because of a certain otherwise great candidate for Senate in Maine, who turned out he got that symbol tattooed at his chest when he was a Marine.
Yeah.
And then he had to, and then once there were pictures that got out of him having it, he was like, "All right, I'll cover it up." You're
Dude,
right. This is in bad taste. I'm
because here's the
sorry.
thing, it wasn't like they're having like a regular skull tattoo. It's specifically the Punisher's emblem, and that represents just, oh, America's failed, everyone dies now. It's mob mentality. Everyone gets cut. It's mob mentality. It's frontier justice.
Yeah, yeah. It's like uh, if I see a cop sporting that emblem, I'm gonna assume that this cop really wants to murder people and doesn't care about the law, really, or the rules of his job, like actually protecting people.
I'm trying to remember this happened. This a police department somewhere in the middle of the country, one of the M states, Minnesota or Michigan, I believe. they actually put the Punisher emblem on all their squad cars, and the public's reaction was so visceral where they're like, "All right, we'll take it off," because it's like, yeah, that's not good. That's not
Yeah,
good optics.
I mean, if you're looking at the same Wikipedia page I am, it seems like that happened in Cattlesburg, Kentucky.
Kentucky, I'm
Um,
sorry, Kentucky. That's what it was. No, yeah, it happened there when it's like, no. And when again, the creator, when he comes out and says you're wrong, you cannot argue against that.
I
And
mean, I mean that gets into like death of the author stuff, but I'm more, with all due respect to the late Conway, I'm less interested in that and more just like when I see that image,
it's
especially when
not
it's
good.
juxtaposed with, especially when it's juxtaposed with images that are supposed to be in support of police and or the military, kind of like what I saw on my dog walk. Um, yeah, it makes me uncomfortable because it's like, you favor, you want law enforcement to act as judge, jury, and executioner. You
Hmm.
don't actually care about the process. You don't actually care about due process, because that's what that image represents. That's what the Punisher self-appoints him. The character who wears that emblem, that's what he self-appoints himself. He self-appoints as like, I'm going to carry out my own justice. I am going to carry out. I am going to completely reject the rules of society, the systems that the civilization I live in is run. I am operating in total rejection of all of that to carry out justice that I and I alone see fit. And like only I can decide if you're innocent or guilty. And
Again,
you
Judge
have no
Dredd is
you
not a
have
good
no
guy.
you have no recourse. You have no lawyer is going to save you from my bullets.
No.
And so when I see like images of cops or supportive cops using that image, it's a little nerve wracking. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's You know what it is. It's like, okay, you're just a fascist. Like
Yeah.
like you are just a fascist at that point. You want our cops to be violent maniacs.
Yeah.
Like
Like
you fantasize about cops just unloading AR-15s on protesters you don't like.
yeah. Because again,
Uh,
for example, you said judge, jury, and executioner. The character Judge Dredd is not a good guy.
no,
That's why he's in a dystopian setting.
yeah,
When Stallone and
Carl
Carl
Urban,
Urban, Carl Urban played him, the world is shit.
yeah,
That's the point.
yeah. It's a sign of society in total decay.
And to go further too with the whole like, it's good to know what you're what you want to like, wear or go support. For example, okay, Punisher, not a good guy. Stop. Like he doesn't represent good at all. He represents just decay and destruction and rot
Hmm.
and evil. For example, this year there's two big movies coming out at the end in the summer and at the end of the year where people are happily wanting to go see, and the main character is a bad guy that people think like, oh, this will be great to watch. I'm going to root for him. For example, Christopher Nolan, right? He's making The Odyssey. It comes out this July. Odysseus, who Matt Damon is playing, he's not a good guy, folks. He's actually an evil piece of shit.
Yeah,
Because
I wonder how much they'll go into the Iliad in
no,
Nolan's
it just
movie.
start the only thing he goes into is just the sack of Troy, and then it kicks off into the Odyssey. But
Okay,
here's why I bring it up. I watched the first 6 minutes of the Odyssey. I watched it. It's on YouTube. It's available to
okay,
watch. The sacking of Troy. And everyone on the Greeks, who Odysseus is Greek, so Matt Damon, you can see all their faces. Even when they put on their helmets, you see their face perfectly clear, kind of like the way the Eric Bana and Brad Pitt movie was.
yeah.
Guess how the Trojans are dressed? I'm being serious.
The face is covered.
Yes, with you can't even see their eyes.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah,
It's
because
kind of like the Persians in
Yeah,
300.
yes, no, yeah, yeah. They're demonizing the Trojans, which, by the way, the Trojans are actually the victims. They were attacked. They did nothing wrong. They did
Hmm.
nothing wrong. When you read the Iliad, if you know the story of Troy, they did nothing wrong. And why I bring it up that Odysseus is a bad guy, during the sacking of Troy, Travis, do you know what they did, the Greeks, to the Trojans?
Uh, they threw babies off of like walls,
Off
basically.
the walls, off the walls of Troy. They threw
Yeah.
babies off the wall, and Odysseus was a part of it.
Yep.
And so when people
They
go
didn't
watch this
have the
movie,
Geneva Conventions back in those
oh
days.
no, they didn't. The thing is, when you go watch this movie, which you know everyone's going to go watch this film in July, um, don't root for Odysseus to make it home. He deserves that 20-year journey having to get back home. It's his karma. His wife, the karma is his wife being pressured into marrying a new guy because her husband hasn't returned home in 20 years because her husband threw babies off the walls. His men threw babies off. He watched as his men slaughtered children. Odysseus deserves this horrible trek home because he is
Interesting.
an evil piece. He is. Because here's the thing, I'll bring it in further. I've watched Troy with Brad Pitt and Eric Bana. I've also watched the director's cut. In the theatrical release, when they sack Troy, Sean Bean plays Odysseus. The entire movie, he's just seen as a logical man. He's given the line to calm down Achilles before he has to talk to Agamemnon after they take in the beach of Troy. He tells Achilles, dude, just listen to the piece of shit and move on. War is just old men talking, young men dying. I'm only here to help lessen the death of Greeks. I just want less Greeks to die. I was forced into this war, just trying to make sure less people die. That's his whole thing in the theatrical release. But in the director's cut, once they sack Troy, Sean Bean is killing everyone in his path. Not just Trojan soldiers. He's killing everyone in his path in the director's cut. There's a reason that was not in the theatrical because you can't sell that. Odysseus is evil. He deserves that 20-year journey. He actually deserved to die and never come home. He's a horrible person. So it's like, no, what you're watching. He's not a hero. He's not a war hero. He's a villain. He's a criminal. He's a war criminal, actually.
Yeah.
And then another movie that's coming out at the end of the year, Dune Part 3. I know, and
Okay,
Travis,
in fairness, I think more people are gonna catch on to Dune Part 3. Just because
but here's the
knowing
thing.
what that is adapting, like what Dune Messiah is about, I think
Oh, of
more people are
course.
gonna catch on.
I think they're going to catch on, but they're going to have a shock to it. They're going to be like, wait, what? He's not the good guy? That's the thing. People are going to have the reaction of like, wait, he's actually a psychotic, evil bastard. Because
They
in,
might they there might be that shock, although I'll give Denis Villeneuve some credit where I think he does a better like when watching Dune parts 1 and 2, he does a better job than Frank Herbert did of setting up that idea that uh, 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 Paul Atreides being this messiah figure is a bad thing. In the tone and presentation, especially the way Dune Part Two ends, like it's almost like a tragedy. It's portrayed as
yeah,
like a tragedy for Paul that when he assumes the emperorship, like you see Chani, she's like crying and sad at like what her people had become, um, and so so I'll give Denis Villeneuve some credit and therefore um some benefit of doubt that with Dune
oh,
Part
no,
3, like people are gonna like, oh yeah,
I'm,
like fuck Paul.
but here's the thing. I'm not talking about the director. I'm talking about the masses going to see this film. That you're
Mhm.
not watching anyone good at this point. There's no good guys now in this movie.
No.
They're all like, what was it? Paul, it opens up that you find out Paul has killed over 90 billion people, sterilized like millions of planets, and even destroyed over a dozen religions in the galaxy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's like he there's putting the foot down, and then there's
yeah, so it's like this. When
that.
you go watch Dune Part 3, you're watching just evil the entire movie. You're just watching
Mhm.
just insanity at a galactic level. But here's the thing, okay, you say people who are like, oh, they're gonna go in, they're gonna know that, fuck Paul, I hope he dies. Okay, fine. Did people have that mentality when they were watching Breaking Bad or The Sopranos or
That's
The
a good.
Wire?
That's a good point. Yeah.
How many people were so supportive of Walter White, even though he represents the failure of the medical system?
Yeah. Walter White definitely had his fans. More importantly, a lot of people hated his wife. And I'm
I'm
gonna be
gl-
real. Like you watch, and it's
you know, if you're not an idiot and you watch this, that's the key thing. If you're not an idiot and an asshole and you realize,
Skylar did nothing wrong.
I'm glad you brought up Skylar, by the way. Okay, I'm glad you brought up Skylar. Okay, so Bryan Cranston is Walter White. He is Heisenberg, the one who knocks. If you didn't realize, Travis, did you know that Malcolm in the Middle came back?
Yeah.
So about 2 weeks ago, him and Frankie Muniz had a one-on-one interview of just catching up. And Frankie Muniz was saying, "Hey, by the way, I just wanted to say something.
Oh
I love Breaking Bad. And when I was watching it the entire time, I'm just like, oh my God, can Skylar just die? She's ruining everything." And when he was saying that, Bryan Cranston was like this. What?
I'm gonna slap you, silly kid.
Yeah, he was literally like, he's like, are you insane? Skylar was right. Walter was evil. And Frankie's like, yeah, but Walter was so cool, dude. So I'm
Do you
like,
think? Do
oh,
you think Frankie Muniz had to have been being facetious about that?
no, he was being serious. He was
He's
like
being
this.
serious.
He was seriously saying, I hated Skylar so much, I wish they would killed her off. And I'm like this. Oh, I didn't know Frankie Muniz was an asshole. Like only an asshole roots for Walter White. Really? No, really. Like, hey, remember
Yeah.
the Goodfellas when Ray Liotta's character is talking about Jimmy Conway, Robert De Niro's character.
Mhm.
Hey, Jimmy, when he went to the when Jimmy went to the movies, he rooted for the bad guys. That I mean, no, right?
hmm
Look, okay, and then okay,
Yep.
The Shield.
Oh
Forrest
yeah.
Forrest Whitaker left that show because he was getting so much hate and harassment on the streets of LA because people were saying, "Yo, man, leave Vic Mackey alone." It's like Vic Mackey is a cop killer, an adulterer, and he also causes a lot of the crime in downtown LA because he's trying to make money and secure his job.
I will give for all those shows you mentioned. I will give credit to the. I will say, you could argue about execution, but I think it's clear that the creators knew from the
Mm.
get go that they were.
Again,
Hmm?
okay,
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
you said it. This is just bringing it back to Gerry Conway, the creator of The Punisher.
yeah,
The
yeah,
creators know that they were trying to show the public a character that represented the failure of America's systems.
yeah,
But the masses, this is so
yeah.
cool. Yeah. Remember what George Carlin said? A lot of people are dumb in America, but you got to realize that
hmm
more than half of those people are actually full on retarded.
I think I would blame. I think partly I would just blame Marvel for like keep because the Punisher was such a hit when he first appeared. They kept bringing him back and doing more stories with him. Eventually, he got solo series and books, and which kind of allowed people to like sympathize with him or find him compelling enough to like keep following him. And that partly might have done some damage.
It didn't help
Um,
that Dolph Lundgren was the first guy to ever represent him in a live action film.
yeah. I I think about like I was gonna say like with the TV shows that you mentioned, like where it's like at least the characters understood that the creator, excuse me, understood that the characters were bad. Um, at least you know what that at least we have had those compared to like um a Taylor Sheridan show.
Yeah,
Like my thing
it's
with Yellowstone fell when Taylor Sheridan forgot that John Dutton was a bad person.
yeah, because in the first season, this is a bad family. Like these are bad people.
They are a mafia. They are the cowboy mafia. And then somewhere along the line, as Taylor Sheridan was losing focus writing his 15 other TV shows, he seemed to have forgotten that Yellowstone was a mafia show.
The
And that
failure
it's
and
like it's like somewhere it's like actually I kind of like John Dutton as a person, and I'm not a good enough writer to kind of reconcile his morality in my head. So I'm actually just gonna write him more sympathetically now, in where whenever he gives like a monologue, it's a reflection of what I actually believe. And like someone made a joke recently of like how Taylor Sheridan writes a TV show. City folk good, or city folk bad,
bad
country
country
folk
folk
good.
good.
And I would take that further as like The man is smart. The woman is stupid and gets in the way. And if she's smart, she's also fucking crazy and gets in the way. And the man needs to put her in her place. Um,
It's like when Reagan smacked that woman around in that one movie, that one mob movie. Remember? Remember that?
yeah.
He just smacked the shit out of that chick. By the way,
hmm
folks, sorry for the weird camera angles. I have to charge the laptop because
It's
we're
fine.
getting
It's fine.
we're getting into it now. But no, no. And here's the thing. Okay, here's another show that I mentioned, The Sopranos. People love Tony Soprano. I'm like, dude, he's a piece of shit, and it's beyond just like, oh, is it because he's with the mafia? It's like, dude, in the first episode, he's cheating on his wife, and he's also
Yeah. Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
like
He's a shitty person. And it's
who
like
does
the juxtaposition that he is a shitty person doing shitty things for a living, but then he find like the whole bit with the ducks, where like he sees the ducks in his pool and it gives him like an innocent reprieve, and then he gets like really sad to where he has like an anxiety attack when the ducks leave. like that, it's to provide kind of a contrast that like, he has a sensitive side in him that he can't, but he's in a position to where that can't come out because he's shitty human being mobster Tony Soprano.
and I think the problem then is people realize like when you sit down and watch something, you don't have to root or boo. It's just called entertainment. Like, okay, House of the Dragons. And when season
Mm-hmm.
two came out, there was the big promotional marketing of like, are you with the Greens or the Reds? Which house do you support? Who has the rightful claim to the throne? It's like this.
Are you Team Jacob or Team Edward?
Yeah. And in my head, I'm like this. The whole point of the show is just to show that monarchies are bad.
It's like
And
fuck both of you.
yeah, and the rich elite have actually no care about us commoners. It's just their petty egos, and they're willing to kill thousands of people just to like feel good about themselves. Like, remember in season two, the rat catcher episode? Oh, someone killed my son. Kill all 17 rat catchers. It's like, you
yeah,
what?
yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, and it's like, well, you have to root for someone. No, you don't. I've never rooted for anyone when I watch most of my television shows. I'm just there to be entertained. Sons of Anarchy, even
Yeah.
at a really certain point, and it comes quickly. Jackson Teller is unredeemable, and you're just watching a good show.
But like when he at the end of season four, when he's like
I'm
when
staying.
he's like, I gotta stay, man. They're my guys. I can't leave them behind. I know we made this deal, honey, that we were gonna leave and start a new life together, not doing criminal shit. We're gonna go clean.
But my
But they're my
homies.
buddies, man.
Oh,
yeah, no. Yeah, no, no, no. I feel I feel I mean, I still love the show. I'll keep
is it?
watching it to the end, but I do feel a strong resentment for
But
for
that, but
Jack Steller
but
at
that's the
that
thing.
point.
Okay, here's a more bigger one.
I still find him
You,
compelling. I find that whole
oh,
thing compelling, and
he's a
it's like, oh, and this is a
compelling.
tragedy. Yeah.
He's a compelling, but doesn't mean why. Here's the thing. Okay, maybe I should say it like this. Why do we always have to feel the need to root for the main character? You don't have to root for the main character. Just watch the show.
We can get well, it's like we can get inside their head. I mean, this is kind of the double-edged sort of good storytelling. If you tell a story well and you have like an anti-hero protagonist, you're able to allow the audience inside that character's head to where you can understand their motivations, to where the audience can see for themselves like, oh, I understand why he does the things that he does. I may not do that myself, but I understand why he does the way that himself. Like that's the I can get into this character's mindset to follow the show, and it can almost serve as like a vicarious fantasy. Like, let's be real. Like, there's a lot of stuff in Sons of Anarchy where it's like this is kind of a vicarious fantasy, you know? Like, yeah, I would love to just. It wouldn't it be kind of fun to have a group of guys that are your friends that ride on the open road on motorcycles and
Drink
get to
beer
go
instead
on
of water.
adventures? Yeah, yeah, and
We
and,
have
and
crow eaters at our
embrace that
disposal.
embrace
Embrace the leather.
in that sense, feel that sense of brotherhood and camaraderie. Like, yeah, that's part of the appeal of Sons of Anarchy as a show, is like you get to imagine that for yourself. I feel that when I watch the show. My brain understands that, like, this is not a life I want to get into, and these are not people I would actually want to associate with. But for just an hour a night, I can play pretend. And some people are not as good at separating that line.
Because most
Having
people,
that line of
most
separation.
people are stupid. It's like, hey, the last example I got is big. Godfather Part One and Two. The Corleones aren't good people. They're villains. You're just watching it. People like, hey,
They're mobsters.
they're mobsters. Well, here's the thing, and I know there's that Paramount miniseries, The Offer, which they're explaining how we make it, and then you see Francis Ford Coppola and who's the author's name?
Mario Puzo.
Mario Puzo, like this. They represent Americans. They represent Americans. Just protecting what they love. It's like this, dude. They kill people. They sell drugs. They run prostitution
It's like
rings.
yeah, it's such a romantic for the Italian mob.
And
Yeah.
it's like they're bad. And here's the thing, Michael Corleone is a representation of he got out. He's a Marine. He fought in World War II. He's a all-American boy. And he let himself get
He's a
drugged.
mobster.
He let himself get dragged back in.
Yeah.
His dad if you read the book, which by the way, again, people, don't just watch the movie, read the book. His dad tried to get him out. His dad was trying to send him to college. He was trying to send him to be a senator. He was trying to get him out of this lifestyle. He had in the book, the dad had no hope for Sonny, had no hope for Fredo, and Tom Hagen was the crime lawyer, so it didn't matter. He had hope for his youngest son, Michael, to get the fuck out of Dodge. And he was trying to get him into college, but Michael said, "No, I'm gonna go serve in World War II and fight for my country." And the dad was like, "You're gonna die for these people. What the fuck? Like I was trying to save you." And then it's like it worked. Michael did his own path. He became a captain in the Marines, fought
Yeah.
the Japs on Guadalcanal and Iwo Jima, survived World War II, came back with a blonde, white, all-American girlfriend. And his dad was like, "Well, he's out. Thank God he's out. Keep him out." What happens? Oh, the Don got shot and Michael got dragged back in. But then his dad had orders, keep Michael out of this. What happened? Michael's like this. Someone shot my daddy. Fuck everyone.
Yeah.
And then in the second one, because this is true, Michael Corleone from The Godfather Part Two is considered one of the top five movie villains of all time.
Yeah.
He's right underneath Darth Vader. Because
Wonder if Mario Puzo was thinking about the Kennedys when he wrote The Godfather, like, because that's kind of a similar thing with the Kennedys.
but that's
Like,
there you go. That's the
you're the
thing.
chosen son to
Yeah.
succeed and that kind of thing.
But that just shows you though. But people root for the Corleones, like, oh, it's so cool. Yeah, they got revenge. It's like you're watching. What's that Norm Macdonald line? Like both sides suck, and I want them to all die. It's like you're watching assholes
I
kill
think
each other.
everyone in this story should die.
Yeah, because they
Um,
should. Everyone should die. When Sonny died, do you think I was sad the first time I saw Sonny died? I'm like this. What do you got? It's what you get. Sonny
so
deserved it. It's what you get. My
like anyway, like back to the subject at hand. We got a little sidetracked. It's a shame that Disney doesn't hasn't done a lot of legal action
I know,
regarding.
right?
According to what I found on Wikipedia, apparently, like the Punisher skull symbol is like apparently that's like really hard to trademark. I don't know if it's because like different artists do their own flourishes on the design, or if it's that it's like a human skull. Like, how can you trademark that? I mean,
Oh, is
and
it kind of like when Gene Simmons was trying to trademark the Spider-Man wrist flinging for the web? Gene Simmons tried to trademark that.
oh god,
Oh,
oh,
he failed so miserably.
it could be like that. I mean, I don't think Marvel has a not that I know. I don't think Marvel has like a solid trademark on like any of Spider-Man's emblems because
No,
I
because it's a
mean,
spider. It's a spider.
partly because it changes with every like installment. It changes with every artist, like how the spider is drawn. Um, the only thing I can think of with like Batman, I don't know if this is the case with Batman, but I'm guessing with Batman, like with the exception maybe of like the movies maybe have like a certain like the Dark Knight emblem where like the wings are like pointed straight out like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's trademarked. That image is trademarked. Maybe I don't know if the Robert Pattinson Batman is trademarked. It probably is. I'm guessing that with anything Batman, if it's like a bat in like a yellow oval, that's probably trademarked.
But
Um,
not just a bat silhouette.
no,
Well,
no,
I get why. Well, also too, and remember this happened in the early 2000s when the military and law enforcement of America were implementing this emblem. Marvel is like, how do you combat? I mean, especially post 9/11, how do you take the military to court? How do you take the cops to court post 9/11?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Apparently, like Screen Rant has like I found in Screen Rant like a history of Marvel attempting to do like lawsuits against or legal action against the Punisher symbol and stuff. And at one point they tried to change the symbol into something that was like based more in like a mythical creature that had like horns and stuff so that they could trademark it better.
But
But then they eventually went back to the old logo because that one kind of sucks.
yeah, his old
Um
the old logo
it's
is
like
great. It's
yeah,
perfect.
it's a like I said, it's a great design. It's a fantastic character design. There's a reason why that character has endured for so long. Um but you know, it's a shame because like Disney is very protective of their IP. Like they'll if you have like if you have an unauthorized like Spider-Man depiction on like a casket for a 4-year old who died of leukemia,
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
they'll fucking sue you for that, you know. um, but with the Punisher emblem, and I don't know if it's because the prevailing theory is that the symbol is hard to copyright or trademark or whatever, or that the original logo was not trademarked at all when it was first appeared in
That makes
'74,
sense. That
I
makes sense.
guess.
Well, I think it also
But
too.
there's a part of me it's like, is there a double standard here? Like you
Yeah, it
don't want to
is.
like,
Well, who wants?
yeah,
Think about it. Think about if Disney can easily go after a family who is burying their 4-year-old compared to the U.S. military as a whole. Because then here's the thing. Then how? Because here's the thing. Let's say they took the U.S. military, all four branches, to court. That means every
mhm.
soldier has to get it taken off.
Which hopefully there's not that many soldiers that have to get it taken off.
Bullshit,
Yeah.
and you know it. Bullshit, and you know it. No, think about the no. It'd just be a legal nightmare, and also too. Oh, huh, those liberal woke Disney guys are going after the military, but they're going after cops. Cops have it. How do you go after cops? That's a lot. No, you say hope so. You know how many millions of all law enforcement and military men and women who have that emblem on their body, and then how do you go after every car that has it on theirs? It's impossible. It's it's
Yeah,
just that
who sold them that sticker?
it's just
That's
who
my
wants to.
question.
It's a battle they know they just can't. They don't want to deal with. The same reason probably why Erica Kirk hasn't gone after Candace Owens. Just doesn't want to deal with it. Easy to go after YouTubers.
Yeah. So anyway, um, yeah, what spurred this video was me seeing that on a car, and we're like, and I told you about it, and we're like, let's talk about it.
It's just basically know what you're going to put on your body or your car before you do it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: people say, "Oh, well, ignorance is bliss." It's like no, ignorance is just being a retard. Literally, ignorance is literally being a dumb motherfucker and an asshole. Know what you're going to go see in theaters. Know what you're about to sit down and watch. There's nothing wrong with that. Know what you're about to read. And maybe if you're and also too, here's the real thing. If you're the type of person who roots for the bad guys, you need some work. Punisher's not of someone to root for or stand behind. Rorschach is not someone to root for or stand behind. The Corleones, Walter White, Tony Soprano, the Sons of Anarchy. These are not people you should be ever rooting for because
And more importantly for this subject, these are not icons that should be appropriated by the military or law enforcement. These are,
no.
these are symbols that that were created um, to represent the opposition to those things, um, the opposition to law,
Mhm.
to order. to to society and institutions that organize society. So when you see the institutions that represent all of those things that the symbol was in opposition to appropriating said symbol, um it's bad. It's very bad. It
You've lost all trust from the public.
And as the Mitchell and Webb sketch implies, if you got a symbol of a skull, you're probably one of the baddies. Like you're probably a bad person if you embody a death's head,
A
which is
cop,
what that is.
a cop who supports a cop killer probably shouldn't be a cop.
No, God no.
Yeah, if any cop wears that, you don't deserve to be an officer of the law because that means you support cop killing because that's who the
Yeah.
Punisher is. Punisher is a cop killer, folks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Just read. Nothing wrong. Again, it comes down to two. Nothing wrong with reading to get more information, no matter how
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable it makes you feel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
By the way, speaking of comics, though, just to slowly wrap this up, I got some new comics in. I got Batman Arkham Asylum. I
Mm-hmm.
got Gotham by Gaslight, and because I do love Mike Magnola, the guy who created Hellboy,
Like yeah.
I got the Doom that came to Gotham. I love this art style. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked up some stuff on Free Comic Book Day today because I picked up a lot of the free samples that
Were they
they
just
put
all
out.
issues, or were some of them books?
Well, it's like the publishers all put out like they publish like issues that are meant to be distributed for free, and they're
Oh,
usually
that's
like
so
yeah,
cool.
they're usually like it's like a free sample type thing. Like, hey,
Yeah.
here's the issue one of our new series, and you could read this for free. And it's the free sample logic. If you like it, you should continue reading and buy your subsequent issues. That's the
I
logic
like that.
behind
That's
Free
so
Comic Book
cool.
Day. And at my local comic book shop, they always offer great discounts on collected editions. I got a volume. I got like not the second volume of the Jeff Johns Green Lantern collection because I'm getting Green Lantern.
Ooh.
Let's see. Got some more Miles Morales. I've been hitting up. Been reading Dan Abnett's run on Aquaman. It's a great run on Aquaman.
I gotta get into this. I
I'm an
like, oh,
Aquaman
yeah, but
apologist.
you ever see that Big Bang Theory joke on Aquaman?
I don't recall the joke specifically.
The gang dressed up as a Justice League and oh God, hold on, what's his name? Hold on. It's
Was there like some homophobic joke about
no,
Aquaman? Like,
no.
oh, I don't
It
want
was
to be.
no, it
Yeah.
was funnier. It was funnier. It was actually like a good joke.
Okay.
Raj is forced to dress up as Aquaman. He's like, Aquaman sucks. Why do you hate Aquaman? He's like he bashed a Muppet. He compared him to one of the or like one of the dumber Muppets.
Oh my God.
Hold on. What was the name? It was like a burn too, because I was like, oh dude. Wait, well, let me find out that Muppet's name. It's that bad, it's that good of a joke where he's like
Wow.
I think he was um and I know you would argue like, well, that's actually a good Muppet guy. Like he's actually pretty cool. He's like the oh, Scooter. He's like the Scooter of the Justice League.
That's mean.
I know, but that's what was funny.
Come
Like,
on.
well, here's the thing. My mom's a hardcore Aquaman fan, and she was so mad at that. And I was dying because he's like, oh, Aquaman sucks. And it's like, well, Raj, it was either Justice League or the Muppets. Well, who do I get to be as the Muppets? Well, he'd probably dress you up as Scooter. Scooter's like the Aquaman of the Muppets. And
Uh,
in my head, I'm like this. Hey, man, Aquaman's cool. I remember Justice League.
Aquaman's dope. You just gotta get the right guy to write him. That's all.
I just love my Aquaman with a hook hand and shirtless with the hair down
Yeah,
Like Led
yeah.
Zeppelin going like I just mess people up. I don't give a shit.
God, fucking yeah. I also got the new volume to Feral, my
I know
Tony Leaks.
Volume 5 comes out in September.
Yeah, yeah. So getting ready for that.
I hope they make that into a movie soon or a TV show. Farrell's so cool.
Farrell's really good.
Farrell's so good. I'm finishing
Netflix is
up.
a great writer.
I'm finishing up Kingdom Come right now. Not a fan, but I'm finishing it up. I'm very.
It's okay. I read The Dark Knight Returns finally this week, and I was
You know, that's funny.
bored
I
with
like
it.
that. I actually liked that storyline, and I like the movie. It's a two-part movie on HBO
The animated
Max.
movie, yeah.
Guess who voices Bruce Wayne in the Batman?
Isn't Batman voiced by Peter Weller?
Yep,
It's an interesting casting
RoboCop.
choice.
Oh, it's so dope. It's so dope when you hear his voice. You're just like this. I gotta rewatch Sons of Anarchy.
Eh,
Alrighty, folks. Well, that's our
whatever.
fun Patreon episode. Basically, just
Yeah.
hey, know about something before you put it on your body, and
All
also
right,
too,
R.I.P. Gerry Conway. Thanks for all you gave us.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot. Dude. Oh, you heard the Power? Oh, before we end, you know the Power Girl story, right? Sorry, real quick. Do you know about the Power Girl story?
Why he gave Power Girl such enormous cleavage?
Yes. So the executives of DC at the time were pissing him off because the executives were just giving the writers shit or the cold shoulder. So he said, fuck it. And so him and the artist just kept every issue making her boobs bigger and bigger and bigger. To it took 9 issues to before the executive said this at the boardroom meeting. Yo, what's with the tits? And that is why she is a ridiculously perky G cup. Because Conway and the artist were so disgruntled and said, all right, you don't notice us? You're going to notice us now. And that's why Power Girl has these big ass, ridiculously bazonker boobs. Don't piss off your writing staff. Don't piss off your staff, right? So
Ah,
guess what, people? It wasn't male fantasy jerking themselves off to a girl with boobs that don't fall an inch. It was literally a disgruntled writer saying, all right, executive, let's see how much you pay attention to us now, you piece of shit.
wow.
Yeah, think about
That's
it though. That
funny. That's
don't
funny.
don't piss off your writers. Don't piss off your staff.
Ah,
I love it. Alrighty,
thanks for
folks.
the work, Gerry Conway.
Yeah, thank you, dude. I love Jason
I'm
Todd.
sorry this is going on Patreon where not as many people listen to us, but I hope this is a respectful tribute.
We just we
If you're
felt that you
listening
just
from on
yeah.
high, uh,
Thank you for Killer Croc. I love that's my one of my favorite Batman villains, by the way. I'm so happy that's him. I love
mm,
Killer Croc. I think he's a great character.
yeah.
Well, folks,
Uh,
that's us.
yep.
Please, if you're still, like I said, subscribing to our Patreon, you came to us. Thank you so much for supporting us. We're cheaper than gas, $5 a month. Please keep supporting us. We're going to have more exclusives coming this way. We're still on Instagram. We're still on TikTok, the platform formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, all that jazz. Like, support, subscribe. We're going for the throne of podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Tom.
I'm Travis.
Pick up a comic. They're good to read. They're not for dumb nerds. They're actually
Yeah.
well-written
Actually,
stories.
read the comics before you put on a goddamn t-shirt.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. By the way, if you're gonna put on just a Batman or Superman shirt or a Spider-Man shirt, read at least one of the comics.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on.
The movies don't count.
No. It's like, hey, it's like Nirvana. Hey, that one. No, it's like Nirvana fans. Like, are you a Nirvana fan? Oh yeah, I love that one song that everyone knows.
Called Something in the Way. Because
Yeah,
I watched the Batman.
I know. Yeah. No. Or if you're on social media, remember that trend? Something's in my ass. Ooh. It's called the government. The government's in your ass. All right, folks. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hi, everyone.